So let's build some paddocks in our sheep pasture. The reason we do that, I have powered the entire system now. I've got a video, and I'll put it right up here, of how if you really need this to be specific on how to put it together, show you the right way to put it together. But oh, that stuck me. Most of the time I just tie it up really good, but you can take these wires, pull the poly rope out and connect them. Like I say, I'll leave the video link right up above. So go to here, and we got to get a handle. Let me go back and get my cutters. I'll be right back. I'm gonna run this through there. And this is not a specific way to tie or anything. I want to just create a loop for the handle to go in and sort of be a rigid place to connect to. All right, so now that'll be rigid. That'll prevent any electrifying of this T-post. Be able to hook my handle there, because this one will have power. Oh, I pulled off way too much, didn't I? Right, now, so this is connected to the insulator, so it'll insulate it from running power to this post. So from here all the way to the top will be one continuous power loop, which will be powered when it's closed or open, either way. The difficult part in figuring all this out is figuring out how to make sure that each time you open a gate, that what you've left is still running power. So you have to make sure that once you open a section, that all the lines are still going to have power on it. That's the part you have difficulty, or you need to spend some time thinking about and working out. So the hardest thing about this is just making sure that everything has power when you unhook one section or one paddock, so that sheep or goats can go in. So now we have closures on 2 paddocks, and we need to add a closure to this 3rd paddock. And we don't want, the reason you have to be strategic in making these plans is that you don't want a continuous loop or a continuous circle of power. You want it to terminate or stop at each section. So that's why we're using some of these handles that do not conduct electricity and some that do, and I'll explain that a little better in just a moment. Tie in here. We just tied to that termination point, and then we'll do a little loop around here. Just so that we're sure we're going to pick up power off of this rope to this rope. The beauty of poly braid or poly rope is you can just tie it like a piece of twine. This is like poly rope, but like I said earlier in the video, these are actually the conductive wires that are through that. Usually aluminum and copper. They're different. Different ropes have different numbers and different types. Right. So you notice again we're using a non-conductive handle, which means it won't pass the power on. All right. Now, the reason we do that, like I say, you don't want power to run in a circle. So now this paddock will catch power up there. We'll show you where at. It'll come here and go to that post. It's powering this paddock. This paddock will come from here down to this corner and then back to here. And this stops the power at this paddock. It doesn't try to run it through there. It decreases the power when you do that. And then this next paddock, the power comes from that post. It's got a let me just go get it and show you. All right, so comes from that power, or comes from power at that post. All right, and this is a non-conductive handle, and then we'll bring it here. We close it off, and then power to here, stop. Power to there, stop. Power to there, stop. So when I open this, I still always have power here. And if I go to the next one, when I open this one, I've always got power over there, power here, and power to there. I can open this paddock. And the same thing to that one over there. If I open that one up, then everything still has power. That's the strategic part of building paddocks and making them work, is that no matter which gate you open, that everything else still has power running to it without causing a complication in the electricity or the conductiveness of the electricity by trying to run it in circles. So let's go to the top and hook everything up and get it ready. That's good. Yeah. All right, so what we're doing now is we're going to pick up power for this line off of this line that I've installed. It's not hooked to power yet. We'll get that in just a moment. And we're going to do that with a gate handle. And I could have just tied this on and been just fine, but I'm using a gate handle so that if for some reason I need to just work on this line, I can take the power away just like that. So now it'll be hot, but if I ever need to work on it, just pull that gate handle. There's no more power will be left on it. So that's why I'm using a gate handle here for that. I need to cut that off a little bit so it won't get into that fence and short out. All right, so that's got that section. When I hook this section up to power, it'll have power on it. All right, let's go down and do the same thing in the corner for the next line. So we're here at the very corner. This has power. This section is powered now, and this is not powered. So we're going to connect both of these to a handle. When we hook it to that, then we'll have power on this portion of our paddock, and this will run up to where we just left the last handle and power that as well. So I'm going to hook both of these to one handle, and then we will hook it up to power, and our paddocks will actually be live. Cut this off. And then we'll hook our poly wire to that as well. So now we have them both hooked. I need to cut that off. Let me go get the snips. All right. All right. So now we have both of these wires hooked to this handle. And that when I hook it up, I have powered the entire system now. So now this is powered. The reason I put it on a handle is if for some reason I want to ever stop the whole paddocks for whatever reason, instead of having to go to the next field over and turn the box off, I can just come here and unhook that handle, and I've completely disabled the entire paddock grid. So now the paddock is live. That's why I like to use these handles. They conduct that electricity, but they give you an opportunity to just shut everything off in the field you're at instead of moving over. So let's go up to the Honda. I've got a fence checker, voltage checker. We'll just kind of get a quick check of the voltage that we have on this and see if we've added enough that we're gonna have to increase our charger size, or if our charger is gonna be able to handle all of it. So let's walk up here and do that. Fence voltage meter here. This is checking. We got 4,000. There we go, 4,000. 4,000 volts is pretty good, especially for an internal fence, for, you know, paddock fencing it inside. Let's see what this one runs. That's what I kind of figured on it. It's running 6,000. Generally, the complete wire will run more than the poly wires will. So my high tensile and all these smooth wires generally run around 6,000 volts. So this is carrying 6 up to that next one. The poly wires are carrying around 4,000 volts, which is good for, like I say, the internal fencing. We'll go up and check the next paddock. We'll set at the top of the hill and kind of explain how everything's working. And then you've actually seen how to create your paddocks within your pasture.
It's a shadow.
4,000, that's good. All right. You have this entire pasture now, and we're standing in the middle paddock. This will be paddock number 1, or whatever you want to call it. This middle paddock is number 2. Only one division between 1 and 2. And then again, down here you can see is paddock over there would be paddock number 3. There is a narrow section there of paddock number 3, but paddock number 3 is a lot longer. It has more woods than the other 2 paddocks. This middle paddock is a little bit smaller. We're going to see how it works, and if we have to adjust those, it's nothing more than picking up some of those posts and moving them this way, maybe 10 or 12 feet each, and that would increase the paddock size, you know, quite a bit. But now we have 1, 2, 3 paddocks here, and a 4th if you want to count the paddock that is down near or down next to the barn. But they'll always have access to the barn and to the creek for water constantly, but we could close off these 3 and let them use that area by itself. All right, guys, thanks for watching. We appreciate it. We thank you for your time. I know that there's some adjustments that we'll still have to do to keep our sheep in the paddocks that we have built here, but I just wanted to bring you along while we built those paddocks so that you could see it's not hard to do. It's not hard to divide your pasture into paddocks. It just takes a little bit of planning and thinking about how your electricity is going to flow and where you're going to get the electricity from. Thanks again for watching. Please go down and hit that like button if you like this stuff. Please subscribe to our channel. It really helps us continue to bring you more videos on how to do sheep and goat farming. Have a great day.
This video was Macy approved.